We can't ask about the actual
I'll put
incident.
him. I'll put him at number 2. He is, especially when you play on the same team as him. It's quite something, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I've just kept doing it, but now it's a thing and I just can't stop. It's like a bit of a superstition now, but yeah, every game.
It's a completely iconic look. It is literally like the most iconic thing I would say, about Hannah Bealey, other than your formidable goal scoring.
We're working hard in training. We're looking at these games ahead, and like we do believe that we can win some games, get some points, and I think that's really important for us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 19 of the For Korf's Sake podcast. I'm one of your hosts, James Sawyer, and I'm joined by the ever-present, the Chancellor of Step Back City. We're just going to cycle through these now, Caitlin, for the next 5 or 6 episodes, so I don't have to come up with anything creative. Yeah, Caitlin Fitzgerald, how are you?
I think my favourite description there is ever-present. You can't get rid of me. But I'm doing good. First game back after the tournament. Yeah, lots to talk about there, and also other results at the weekend. Really exciting.
Yeah, we've got kind of loads to go through this week. It's definitely going to be a busy episode, as well as having a really exciting guest join us. Yeah, I guess without further ado, let's kind of kick straight in. We wanted to open the podcast before we talked about any kind of results, before we brought the guest in, and kind of before we talked about updates within England Korfball, to take a moment to, I guess, call out the fundraising page that has been opened on behalf of Kim Oakhill. Kim, if you haven't already read this story, and I really hope a lot of the Korfball community have, Kim needs some treatment in order to essentially give her more time, which I think anybody that's ever been through anything like this can understand. Yeah, we just wanted to firstly send our well wishes, not just to her, but to the rest of her family, to all of the people surrounding her. It sounds like she's an absolutely incredible woman who has done so much, not just for England Korfball, but for all the different clubs as well around Cambridgeshire as well. Just an absolute icon there. So we just wanted to send our well wishes. Yeah, tell everybody, if you've got any spare money, please do donate to the cause. It's more than worth it. And I think just we're going to try and do some stuff, aren't we, Caitlin, on that? I don't know if you've got any words on that, Caitlin.
Yeah, just to kind of reiterate what you've said, even if you don't know Kim, cancer is something that will unfortunately affect us all in our lives in one way or another. So I think we can all kind of relate to her in that regard. And I would just reiterate again, so if you can donate, please do. Just right now, stop the podcast, go and do it. I know we see these links floating around and you think, I'll get to it. But honestly, if you can, just go and do it now, because, if the Korfball community really comes together in this, I think we can raise a lot of money for a good cause.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. This is the best part about Korfball, community of people, and so hopefully we can band together. We are in conversation with Mike Hopkins as well about like different fundraising ideas that we can help with, that we can support, anything we can kind of do. So if anybody has any ideas, we'll put this out there publicly to say, like, please do reach out to us, because we are brainstorming ideas in the background, but we definitely want to be able to provide help. And I think it's a great opportunity for people to come together and for us to do something for a great cause, and to just support all round. So shout out Kim and the rest of her family. So right, so we'll move on to the first update of the week, and that is a couple of weeks back we heard of an exciting new weekly league in Nottingham. We did discuss this, but that podcast actually never came to light. We recorded something in Lisbon, but we never actually released it just due to timing. So Caitlin, do you want to give the listeners an update on the Nottingham Week League and how they can get involved?
Yes, so the account that everyone should go and check out on Instagram is called play.korfball. They've reached out to us regarding a weekly recreational korfball league that takes place up in Nottingham. So you don't have to have a full team together in order to enter. You can have a partial team, whatnot. And the idea is to kind of weekly have just some fun korfball games, kind of similar to, if anyone's ever done, you can sign up for like a Go Mammoth mixed netball or football five-a-side, and it's similar to that but for korfball. So really exciting initiative, and if I lived near Nottingham, I'd definitely give it a go. So play.korfball on Instagram.
Yeah, great way to have some casual fun with some friends as well, right? Like that just sounds absolutely awesome. Great idea. Great idea. And then on to the next update, we had the Bucs results. Now, GB Student Korfball released the results a couple of days ago, so we can kind of run through those now quickly. So I'll just go through the South Midlands and East. Congratulations to Loughborough 1, UEA 1, Birmingham 1, and Warwick 1, who all managed to make it through to champs, which is awesome. Yorkshire and North Midlands, Beckett won that group, so congratulations to them. Leeds Beckett, Nottingham won, and Sheffield will be joining them for the champs. And then in the south, we had Cambridge 1, Bath and Exeter and Oxford all head into champs as well. And then from the north, Manchester, Lancaster, Edinburgh and Newcastle. So yeah, all great results for those clubs. Congratulations to Manchester, Cambridge, Beckett and Loughborough for obviously winning their respective tournaments. Caitlin, anything else on Bucs?
No, I think that summed it up really well. I'm really glad to see like the results out publicly, because we have been wondering. So yeah, good to kind of build that excitement going into the finals in a new venue up in Newcastle this year, which will be a change from the fortress that is UEA.
Yeah, very true. Although maybe slightly harder from a commute perspective for us here in the south. However, very exciting. On that, Caitlin and I are still trying to figure out if there's an opportunity for us to get down there. Full transparency, there is England training for Caitlin, and then I also have a game on the Sunday, so it's a bit of a challenge, but we're trying to work around and see what we could do, because we would love to be there. We just don't know that it's going to be feasible. But anyway, enough of us. We're not the entertainment there anyway.
Exactly.
It's all about the sport there. Right. Okay. Now, before we get into the weekly results, and we'll try and burst through those as quickly as we can, I do think it's important for us to address the fact that there was a semi-final announcement made within the community. So there was an update regarding the fact that the semi-finals of the English Korfball League and the promo semi-finals will be played at a mutual venue in Derby, in Repton, I think it is. And yeah, that's going to be held on the Sunday, the 3rd of May, and that will be held from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Caitlin, I guess it's definitely been met with some pushback from areas of the world that we live in. I'm hearing different things from the north, from the sort of the southwest, etc. Just give us, I guess, this is not us speaking on behalf of Beck. This is not us speaking on behalf of England Korfball. Give us your kind of thoughts, Caitlin, speaking on behalf of you.
Been quite the hot topic this week. I love a bit of a Korfball controversy, but I will preface everything I say by saying I have never booked a sports hall in my life. I have never tried to source a venue for Korfball. So I imagine that the logistics of that are very challenging, and I appreciate kind of the effort that goes into doing these kind of things. And on that as well, I love the idea of a multi-game venue. I know that this is something that England Korfball have been trying to do for a while now. I know lots of work was done by Alison Rumble and her husband, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but trying to secure multi-game venues throughout the season for big showcase events like this. And I love the idea of having the semi-finals for the league and promo league all in one place. And that does make the sport more accessible for our friends up in the north. So obviously we've spoken to Mike about the great stuff going on at Leeds Hurricanes and beyond. So yeah, I love it. Yeah, you love all of that. I will say though, this venue definitely has some challenges in terms of travel for a lot of people. It's not particularly accessible by rail, and there's not very many parking spaces. I can't remember the exact amount, but basically if every team took 4 cars, there'd only be 12 spaces left, I think, for spectators and things like that. So I do think that's going to be a bit challenging. But overall, I like the ambition. I just don't think the execution is, I don't have quite as much love for the execution in this case. And I think I'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah, I think very well, very diplomatic there, Caitlin. But I do have to say, would preface it with all the same things. The EK is made up by a ton of volunteers that are all working tirelessly to try and help the sport take a step forward. And I think that deserves an enormous amount of respect. The multi-game venue is obviously a fantastic idea in terms of the fact we can stream all the games, we can get commentary on all the games. It brings the community together. It gives people a platform to go and watch all of these different games in one place. Beck and everybody that had to credit to Bristol for trying to stream it, but we had probably one of the best semi-finals we've had last year in Bristol versus Trojans, and essentially it's like watching it on a potato. It's not Bristol's fault. You have to have the bandwidth to be able to stream it, and unfortunately the signal wasn't very good. but it means that that's now not watchable. And some of the best semi-finals we want to be able to see. And if you can't make it, we want that to be accessible for viewing purposes. So everything being together means we can do commentary, means we can do like streaming. It's great. It's really, really great. But as you said, there are some questions around that. An update for the listeners, as we've been speaking about this, Kevin Allen, who is essentially, I believe he's the person that runs the committee, the competition committee on behalf of the EKA, has literally just emailed. And we are going to try and have a conversation with him before next week's episode to try and kind of give the reasoning behind why these decisions were made, because we do feel like there's a lot behind the scenes we don't hear. And we want to give the EKA a platform to sort of say, right, well, these are the reasons this is happening. This is why we think it's a fantastic step forward. And here's why. And I feel like sometimes that doesn't always get shared. So we're hopeful we can schedule some time with him, and then that can be released as kind of a short stint of next week's episode. But with that in mind, we need to figure out who's going to get to the semi-final first, Caitlin. And I think that means let's run through them. Let's rapid fire some results. So last week's fixtures were Cambridge Tigers at home to Norwich Knights. That finished a win for the in-form Cambridge Tigers, 18 against Knights. Caitlin, quick roundup thoughts.
Yes, great win for Cambridge. Obviously, Knights coming off of beating Trojans, so will have been full of confidence. I think what's been really impressive with Cambridge is their defence this year. Their games are pretty low scoring, and but I think it's a great testament to how well they've been defending. They're a very fit team, and that solid defence has plus a few bits of flair in there. Obviously, Teo's still banging in the goals, has got them into a pretty solid position now, level on points with Knights, only 1 point behind Tornadoes in the league. So Cambridge Tigers, the dark horse.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. They could have had a lot more goals as well. I'll call that out. I watched the game. There was a lot of missed chances that I'm sure as the season goes on, they'll start to stick those away, etc. But that was a really impressive performance. Next up, we had Bristol Thunder at home winning 24-19 versus Nomads. A result that Bristol Thunder will be very happy with, considering they lost the reverse fixture. But Caitlin, thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely massive win for Bristol. As you say, losing the reverse fixture to Nomads. Great to see Johnny Potter get a start, obviously continuing his great vein of form. And Kira Wilcox with 7 goals as well. Huge performance. A good game to watch. There's a great goal from Leo Comerford in the first kind of couple of minutes. Great battle between him and Alex Bell throughout the game at the post. But fun one to watch, and massive win for Bristol.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I'm sure, Nomads as well definitely had their chances. Think that it's going to be a really interesting season, seeing how the rest of the season goes. I feel like Nomads are a bit of an unpredictable team because on their day, they're just so incredibly difficult to play and make it so difficult for every team in the league. So they can definitely take points off anyone. Absolutely. And then we had, I'm going to call this a somewhat surprising result. Okay, so it probably isn't in terms of the league placings, but we had Trojans at home to Bromley, 29-80. Now, the reverse of this fixture was closer, and I think that Bromley are improving week over week, which is why I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than it was. Caitlin, overall thoughts on the Trojans' performance and, the game in general?
I could literally just leave it at saying Neela Brennan and Kat Brooks. Neela scored 10 goals from open play, which is insane, no matter who you're playing against. To be able to shoot at that percentage is incredible. And Kat with just a mere 7, so 17 of those 29 goals coming from just 2 players there. I thought it was a bit interesting from Bromley. Not sure they adapted to kind of Neela's hot hand that well. She's a good defender, Georgia. Giorgio, sorry if I pronounced that, but just purely on height-wise, I think they should have mixed it up. Because Neela was able to shoot in Neela's perfect two-foot planted way and really bang in the goals there. So huge win for Trojans and huge performances.
Also, I would like to, they made it public. Catherine Brooks shot 7 goals in 8 shots. She shot at an 87.5% percentage for the game. That is, I genuinely think that is the wildest stat. That's obviously, we had the Bristol scoring, what was it, like 8 in 8, 9 in 8, 9 goals in 10, and then like 10 in 13 or something against us. But that is, by one player to drop that percentage is probably the wildest stat I've heard all season. So shout out Kat Brooks. They're just absolutely incredible. Yeah. Girls in charge. Girls in charge.
I couldn't get that percentage if I was on my own at training with a post. I would never score 7 in 8.
No, I could attest that I'm exactly the same. I'd struggle to score 2 in 3. So, yeah. And then final result was a Kent derby, and it was Bearsted at home to Kingfisher, and that finished 21-16 to Kingfisher. Yeah, Caitlin, not sure if you had a chance to watch it yet, but what are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, pretty low scoring, I think, because Kingfisher, as we know, like to shoot a lot, take a lot of shots. But again, Bearsted not far off it. I wouldn't be surprised if they do get a win this season. I think they have been steadily improving, and yeah, just Kingfisher a bit too strong in the end.
Yeah, would agree with that. Yeah, I'm hoping, I don't know if he came back on. I didn't manage to catch the very end of the game, but Dan Brown went down injured as well, I think. So hopefully nothing too serious for him. But yeah, was a good game to watch, and cheers for Kingfisher for uploading it. Yeah, so appreciate that. And that kind of sums up this last week's action, Kaylin. I think, we're already like 19 minutes in. Let's just crack straight on and bring on the guest, shall we?
Beck did also beat Tornadoes, but it was probably the least interesting game of the weekend. So don't worry.
Wait, sorry. Right, let's go back to that. Yeah, there was. We had a full week game. Sorry. Yeah. Also, Beck did play Tornadoes. They played them away from home. Beck won 26-19. Caitlin, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think definitely a bit of a potential banana skin for Beck. A first game back from a tournament, especially when it's successful, can always feel like a bit of a downer in vibes. And yeah, you have to kind of adapt to being just back in a sports hall on a rainy morning in Rochester. So yeah, I think good for Beck to get the win. Lots of goals spread across the team. Yeah, Tornadoes shoot a really high percentage. Speaking of shooting percentages, can never be underestimated, but I think just the strength across the board from Beck really showed through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, agree with that. I fundamentally do not enjoy playing any of those Buckland boys. I don't enjoy that. I'm putting that out there now. I'm sick of it. I don't want it anymore. Yeah, I'm done with it. But yeah, I think that officially brings us on to being able to call up the week's results and bring on the guest. Do you think, Caitlin, for the second time lucky?
I think we can go for it this time.
All right, yeah. Thanks for calling that out. I can't believe I missed our own game. Sorry. Right, okay, Caitlin, are you ready?
I think so.
Hannah, are you ready?
Yeah, very ready.
Okay, here we go. We got a super fun one this week, folks. Been trying to get this guest on for a few months now, and just timings haven't always worked out. But many times on this podcast, we have mentioned that all roads lead back to Bearsted when it comes to elite Korfball, and we are very excited to be able to shine a light on Bearsted with this week's guest. So she is one of the most exciting prospects in the National League, having already scored 45 goals this year, which puts her as the second highest female goal scorer in the league currently, with an average of +4 goals a game. So very impressive. She has played for the England under-19s, but perhaps more recently was part of the England senior team that flew out to the World Championships in Taipei. She has 7 caps for the England senior team, and she'd scored 13 goals in that time. So a really strong return at an international level. I'm sure Caitlin Fitzgerald would absolutely love that return. But yeah... alongside this, she was part of Norwich Knights when she attended university at UEA in Norwich, where she achieved the triple, a gold, a silver and a bronze medal at Bucs Champs. So yeah, very well versed in the Bucs world as well. But since returning back to Kent, she helped Bearsted obtain promotion and is hopefully going to grab some results over the next couple of months with them and save Bearsted's season maybe. But yeah, she's achieved all of this and is still only 23 years old, which is absolutely insane. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, roll up your sleeves. Hannah Bealey's on the podcast.
Woo-woo!
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to have the intro?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think you put me a bit higher than I am there, but I'll appreciate it.
No, that's how we like to. Yeah, no, we like to. It's all just pure, all facts though, all facts. So yeah, really excited to have you on the podcast. Yeah, as I say, we wanted to speak to yourself and to get a bit more insight into Bearsted currently this season too. So yeah, love having you on. But before we get into all of that, and something we love to just ask everyone from the get-go is how you got into Korfball.
So I think I was about 6, and Kevin Long came to my primary school and he got my sister involved. So my sister started playing when she was 7, and then I just used to run around on the sideline, and then eventually they were like, go on, let her join in. So then I joined in as well, and then me and my sister, we were Bearsted for about 13 years before we went to uni, gone through the whole thing together. Yeah, I've got her to thank, but also Kevin Long, who I think has promoted, like we say, Korfball to a lot of key players in the Korfball world.
Yeah, for sure. It is quite outstanding, the number of kind of high quality players that have come from Bearsted. There's people, you wouldn't think of, like, Joe Bedford, Owen Bealey, Natasha Dawson, a bit of a throwback name there, but obviously went out to play in the Netherlands. She started at Bearsted. So talk to me a bit about what that was like being at a club with such a well-established kind of youth setup. How did that help your development in those early years?
Yeah, it was definitely really good. Like, we always had like quite a strong age group, like going through, we did national leagues in Cambridge as well, which was really nice, and like sort of playing with the same people from when I was under 9s all the way up to like under 17s, which was really nice. But it's always a bit weird because you've got all these people and then they all leave at different stages in their life. Like, I remember like Aisha, Dan Brown, Owen Bealey, like all of them sort of leaving, so it is a little bit weird, but it is a lovely environment to like stay in. And then obviously I went up to senior, which is nice because you've got some of these players that like you can look up to and stuff. So I mean, I've always been Bearsted, so I wouldn't change it, but they're good. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think that really helps, having that exposure to higher level competition, especially, as you're going through the youth setup. Did you make your national league? Were Bearsted in the national league before you went to university?
Yeah. They just got, maybe like 2 years before I was there, we got relegated before I went to uni. And then we never got quite back up when I went. But I played a couple of games before I went off to uni in the National League, but we got relegated quite quickly, so not much.
And how did you find that kind of step up into National League after playing in various different junior competitions?
It was definitely a lot. I think my dad likes to say I've scored the fastest National League goal, which I wouldn't say so, but I remember I got subbed on against Tornadoes with about 30 seconds left, and David Wiseman just looked at me and he said, just run at the post. So I did. I just ran at the post and I scored this runner like maybe 10 seconds after I came on. And then everyone went crazy. But it is definitely a big step up. And then I think my second game I played against Claire Deek and she scored about 12 on me. So it was definitely a bit of a culture shock. But it got me going before obviously I went to Norwich and started playing properly. But it's definitely a big step up from the likes of the junior leagues and stuff.
I think as long as no one's claiming that stat, I think just take it. I always say that I'm the best shot clocker in the country because no one else is claiming it. Yeah, you just gotta own it. But I think very, very impressive. Yeah, 10 second goal. It must have been amazing. Then yes, the wonderful Claire Deek to keep us all humble the following game. But that must have been really great. Obviously, you play against a player like that, but then the next season to be playing with someone like that. Did you always know you were going to join Norwich Knights when you were going to uni up in UEA, or how did that come about, that move?
Well, I actually decided I was not playing Korfball.
Classic.
I don't know why, I just didn't want to. But then I was at uni for about 3 days and Bailey Waldridge walked past me and was like, you need to come to Korfball. And then Joe Skeet and Rob Bloomer were on my case. So I actually went to City for my first year. And then, so I was at City for a year. And then after that, Charlie was telling me to come over to Knights. So I went over to Knights and really enjoyed it. And like playing with like Claire Deek every week and like we were competing at a high level then. So yeah, it was really good experience.
Yeah, I can imagine anyone at UEA Korfball seeing you and thinking, why haven't you been at training yet? And what a great addition to the squad. So I'm glad you didn't stop playing. And yes, I can also imagine the Charlie Bogwell roping you in. But I'm sure that was really a bit more, another kind of step up playing in a team in the National League at the upper end of things. Would you any particular highlights of your time at Norwich Knights?
It was pretty good, like getting into the finals, like playing at the semi-finals. That was good. I think the year before, so my first year at uni, I was like the person that ran on and wiped the sweat when someone fell over. And then like the next year when I was actually playing, I was like, it's a bit of a step up. So that was fun. But yeah, I think getting to the finals was good. And just some of our games were like really good. It was a really good team to be part of. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, great. What a great story from kind of one year to the next, being in the semi-finals. And clearly, the National League is a level that you've been able to adapt to. As James mentioned, you are second in goal scoring for the female players this year in National League. And doing so whilst being playing in a team that's at the lower end of the leagues, which I think adds kind of another layer to that achievement. How has it been kind of transitioning back to Bearsted? I think I firstly want to ask though, obviously coming home from uni, what made you choose Bearsted basically? Because I'm sure lots of clubs would have loved to have a goal scorer such as yourself.
Well, I didn't play last year because I didn't know what club to go to. And then my sister obviously still plays for Bearsted. Yeah. So I was like, I'll just go to one training session or I help out at this friendly game. And I sort of I just got roped back in. And then I said, I'm just going to try till Christmas, see how it feels. And then once I started getting a few goals, I was like, I just maybe do the season. So I think it was just nice to come back to the club that I used to play at. I know everyone here. And it's nice. They're building a nice team. It's good. I think there's a lot of potential in the team. So I just, sort of wanted to come and help, see how this season's going, which isn't amazing so far, but I think we've actually put in some really good performances. I think we've shocked teams, and it's always hard being a promoted team coming up, especially in this league. So I think it was always going to be tough, but I don't think we've done a bad job. I think there's still potential. We've got games that we're looking at. We've got a few points that we need to pick up, but it's not over. So I am enjoying it. I like a bit of a challenge. So yeah, it's been good. I have enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I think that's all really fair. Actually, if you look at the Bearsted's results from the beginning of the year until the last couple of months, things have been a lot closer. Obviously, losing to Knights by 1 a few weeks ago. So I think, from the outside, the improvement is recognizable. What do you think has caused that? And what do you think has been kind of the factors that have enabled your steady improvement as a team this year?
I think it's just the more we play together, the better we get. We're a team. We recruited a few new people this year. We've got a lot of different experience levels in the team. We've got people coming up. We've got people that have not played National League for a couple of years. So it's just sort of everyone getting together and getting to that same level. Which I think it just does take time, and people haven't played for a while. People, like I say, are coming up. But I think throughout the season we have progressed a lot. We have got a lot better. I think fitness is a little bit of an issue for us. We've got periods of the game that we're playing really well, but then the last 10 minutes of the half we crumble a little bit and lose it. But like I say, that's got a lot better. We've played some really good 60-minute games now, and I think it's just a lot of new people coming together that haven't played together for a while. So I think that's the biggest reason. But like I say, I think the progress is getting made. We're working hard in training. We're looking at these games ahead, and we do believe that we can win some games, get some points, and I think that's really important for us.
Yeah, just to kind of add on to this, as I look to the table and look at the form over the course of the season, there's definitely been an uptick in you guys overall in your performance, and the games you've got coming up. You've essentially got 5 games left in the season to try and get 3 results, and I definitely think there's a positive progression, or you guys can definitely grab some points, and I imagine it will be a real potential banana skin as well to other teams, that are going there. It's no result in the National League is easy this season, not one. But in terms of just wanting to ask from my perspective and understanding people leave Bearsted a lot, Hannah, why do you think that Bearsted have necessarily struggled to either stay up in previous seasons or struggled to kind of keep people from moving on? You mentioned a number of names earlier. What do you think that's about?
Oh, I don't know. It's a tough one. I think, especially in the junior age groups, people, I don't know, follow friends, follow people. I know a lot of my age group and a few age groups above, they go to Tornadoes. At the time, Tornadoes had a really young squad. They were a really really good team. They had the Bucklands coaching, and they had really good links to England and stuff. And I think that was a good route for a lot of people. I think a lot of people look at that team now, the likes of Dan, Aisha, Shane, how far they've all gone. So I think it is good. Why we can't keep them, I don't know. I think people go, and then uni and stuff, people go to different unis. I think it's hard. But yeah, I think we've always been a bit of a team that's gone up and down throughout our years. I think we've always struggled to stay right at the top for the whole time. But yeah, we're getting there. I think we're making progress. We had a big quite a big revamp a couple of years ago with Mike Beckett coming in to coach us as well. So yeah, I think there's potential in the future. We've got a lot of youngsters still coming up as well. Like some of our youngsters in our second team are really, really getting there and really good. So you never know in the future. We're holding on to them at the moment, so that's good.
Yeah, for the record, with the youngsters stuff, it's always really challenging. You know, we spoke to Ross Cartaylor at the start of the year, and obviously Bromley are probably the prime example of a group of young players at the moment. Bromley and Tornadoes as two group of young players, but obviously they sometimes leave to go to university, and you've got no control over that. So it's one of those where it's like, you know, you're raised in Kent, you might want to go to university in a different area of the UK. And I get it. Like where I was raised, I wanted to be away from home. And obviously then once that happens, we do see lots of players. We've heard lots of different people have gone to university and taken a break from it. We know Korfball's intense. Why did you want to take a break when you went to university?
I don't really know. I think it was just a lot of pressure. Like I just sort of wanted to go to university and just see what sort of happened. I don't think I wanted to commit to it because like playing National League, you're training twice a week as well. And I think I just wanted to go to uni and just like live the uni lifestyle for little bit. But then actually playing at uni, I wouldn't change it. Like playing Korfball at uni was one of the best things I did. All the Bucs stuff and also as well playing for Knights, like I wouldn't have changed it. But I think it's just sort of wanting to just live and do uni like without the pressure of the sport, I guess.
Yeah, which I can totally get. I think it's really interesting when we were in Lisbon, we were seeing people like Rachel Turner, I think Kenzie Baldock as well, both didn't play Korfball at university, and obviously they've gone on to be some of the most capped England players. And I get it, you know, it's really intense, but it's also awesome when half of the people that find Korfball find it through university, and it's just interesting that sometimes people want to take a break. But very pleased that you did play. Obviously had humongous success there. We probably get so much love from Bucs, Hannah. That's probably one of the communities that we on the podcast receive a lot of love for, which we're really grateful for. And we always we're going to do an episode in a couple of weeks regarding just Bucs stuff. How was your experience with Bucs overall? Like, would you have any like kind of highlights? Obviously winning the gold medal, but like, yeah, what was your kind of university experience like coming at it from a Korfball player already?
It was very good. Like UEA had a very established team when I went in. Like we had a good reputation. We'd won a lot. We had like Joe Skeet, Rob Bloomer as coaches, and we had a very good team. I remember my first year, my sister played for Kent and I played for UEA, and every end of every regions we played against each other. And then anyway, obviously our final was Kent versus UEA, and we beat them by about 2 goals, I think, which is still a touchy subject in our house. We still don't talk about it, but so that was good. And obviously getting the gold, like nothing beats it. Like it is a good experience. And then the next year we came second and we lost to Exeter in the final. And honestly, it was probably the worst, like the highs and lows of sport. Like it was awful. But yeah, I think winning the medals, but also just like at uni as well, like the Korfball club, like I lived with Korfballers. We went to the library together. We went out together. Like after every training session, you sort of go to the pub, like the socials. I think the whole social aspect of it as well is like incredible. And obviously we were lucky enough to have nationals at UEA for the last 3 years when I was there. And just like having the home crowd, like the whole club's there watching you, like it is really special. It is nice. So I think that in a way, like just having everyone there, the whole like club nature of it, I think it's really good. But yeah, the highlights are definitely the 3 medals. So don't think much tops that, to be honest.
No, that is amazing. And yeah, that's a great story about yourself and your sister as well. I love those. I only recently found out, having been as close as I am with Marcus and Lizzie, that I don't think they mentioned this on the podcast, that on one of their Bucs, Marcus missed a penalty in the penalty shootout and had to give the ball to Lizzie to score the winning penalty, which is just like they're playing an yeah, you're just like, that is awful, right? Like if you're the parents there, you're like, this is horrific. One of them's just missed and now the other one's got a score to win or whatever. Yeah, but that's the best thing about Bucs, right? It pairs up these people together that all love each other and know each other. But then obviously there's like, it's such a great aspect. And yeah, you obviously had an amazing experience, which is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to sort of do it, I guess, behind the curtain. Caitlin, your camera was kind of going off and on. So I'm hoping looks like you're back now. So sort of leading there, but I'll pass back over to Caitlin. I'm not sure if there was anything you wanted to, cover before I naturally stopped. Sorry.
Yeah, all I was going to say is love hearing about university Korfball stories. Forever a regret of mine that I stayed in London for uni. I didn't join a Korfball team there. But moving on from the university side of the sport to the kind of top elite level, which is the England senior team, you have, of course, represented England at that level at the most recent World Championships out in Taiwan, which is the absolutely awesome location to have to have World Championships and be able to attend. So would love to hear kind of, the decision making behind going for the England seniors and and then we'll get on to the tournament itself. So how did you get involved in the England senior squad?
Well, I actually received a phone call from Rob Williams while I was on holiday, which was a bit of a surprise, just saying basically, would you be interested in doing the seniors and coming to Taiwan? And obviously I said yes, like I'm not going to say no to that, but it was quite unexpected. Like I didn't trial for the seniors or anything like that. So it was just a bit unexpected, but obviously I'm going to take that opportunity. And like the whole experience was just incredible. So no regrets there. Incredible experience.
No. When an opportunity like that comes up and you can say yes, you've got to go for it. For me, I think there's the National League level, and then there's like kind of international Korfball level, which I got a nice reminder of when we were out in Lisbon a few weeks ago. I was like, wow, I've been at this level for a couple of years, and you forget the kind of the fitness involved and the intensity and physicality. How did that experience out there compare to what you played before? I mean, obviously you still had a great goal return, so it was pretty okay, but any highlights or particularly tough players to play against out there?
I think everyone's tough at that sort of level. Like when you go out there, it's kind of like a different world. Like you're seeing all these people, and like people I haven't even heard of because they're just so high above me, and I'm like playing against a Dutch team, like however humbling it is, like playing against a Dutch team is such an experience. Like I remember like even just getting, I was like, yes, I've taken a shot. Like it is a completely different level, but like the whole experience, just like getting to make my debut, obviously that's got to be a highlight. I think the Philippines game, I scored a couple of goals in that one, so I was pretty happy with that. So that was good. But I think honestly just being there and playing with some really good like England players that I'd never thought I'd be able to play with, and playing with them is incredible. And like all the players, like it's like such a mutual respect situation when you're out there as well. Like everyone's there to compete at the highest level, and it's good opportunity for everyone to take.
I think that humbling by a Dutch player is something we can all relate to. And James got to experience recently against when John Denton thought it'd be hilarious to put me and James on together against PKC. But it's always new. It's amazing to kind of see the top level and try and get a shot.
I wanted to ask just a few more on this, Hannah. I think it's a really nice segue into when I watched that tournament. You were definitely fantastic. You played fantastically. It was a really, really strong performance from you. I guess this is my call out, as we make oftentimes on this podcast, Hannah, as to why are you not why have you not trialed for the England?
Good question. I think at the moment, like I'm working a full-time job. I'm at uni, and I just playing on Sundays. I just need my Saturdays. That's just the time that I need to, catch up on work. And I was really tempted to trial, but I just think this year, I don't want to commit to too much, and it will get a bit much really. But so that's the only reason really. But I was really tempted, but just decided against it in the end. But you never know in the future.
That's good. I'm glad to hear the door's not closed forever.
Yeah,
for sure. And hopefully we'll see a return soon. Was there anything else you wanted to cover on Taiwan, James, things like that?
No, I guess just firstly on Taiwan as well, what do you think of the food? Are you a foodie?
I'm not a foodie. I'm not.
So it was a challenge then. It goes from either being a really exciting experience, or if you're not a foodie, a massive anxiety-ridden week of your life.
The food. I'm pretty sure my main meal of the day was breakfast, where I was like stacked up on toast, because I was like, this is my meal. And I was like having like 4 slices of toast for breakfast. I was like, this will see me through the day. The food, I think a lot of us struggled with the food, and a lot of McDonald's. There was a McDonald's just across from the sports hall. So I think that saved a lot of people. Yeah, definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, the Usain Bolt. I think that was Usain Bolt, right? That did chicken nuggets before Beijing, didn't he? I can imagine you guys felt really good in the evenings after having to eat McDonald's, then play Korfball. I'm sure after 4 or 5 days, it was just feeling absolutely horrific. But
Absolutely.
It's a really cool country, right? It's a really cool. I've been to Taipei myself, and it's really special, and I guess a great excuse to see other parts of the world. But did you have any other highlights that you haven't mentioned, like about Taipei? Are there any memories you look back on, funny stories or anything like that that you remember?
I think just seeing it, like actually seeing the country, like I've never been to a sort of country like that before. So like on our days off, like the zoo, there was a really good zoo in Taiwan. If anyone, it was like £2.50 to go in, and it was the best zoo I've ever been to. And I think we all did a good couple of trips to the zoo. Like the team, we went on like the gondola, we went up the Taipei 101. It was really nice having the island team there as well. We spent a lot of time with them, which was also really nice. But yeah, I think just seeing like the people out there were incredible, like the most helpful, nicest people that you could ever imagine. So I think just the whole culture, the country, it was, that's the highlight. Just seeing these places and being like, yeah, it was really good. Really good.
I absolutely love that. And we've officially merged on to my dream of where the podcast would go, which is a hybrid of Korfball and travel, which is essentially my entire personality. So yeah, nice work there. But I think that kind of sums up, obviously, we wanted to find out on the England experience. The only question I have before we go into a quick little segment with you, if it's all right, Hannah, is it's got to be the question that most people want to know is, you roll up your sleeves. It's a completely iconic look. It is literally like the most iconic thing I would say about Hannah Bealey, other than your formidable goal scoring. What's the secret? Why do you roll up the sleeves?
I don't know, but it's stuck now and I have to keep doing it. I don't know. I think I started at one point, I'm really hot. And I think it was a UEA kit. They were really tight around the arms. So I was like, I'm just going to roll them up. And then people were like, well, you score goals when you roll them up. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I've just kept doing it. But now it's a thing and I just can't stop. It's like a bit of a superstition now. But yeah, every game I roll them up. And yeah, I get a lot of comments about it actually. But we've got to stick to it now. So yeah.
I might try it. See what happens.
Oh my God! Can you imagine me and you in the wait? We're playing Bearsted this weekend. That would be so funny if we. Oh my God! That would be wicked. And then I also wanted to ask as well. You are one of the very, very few players that shoots off of 1 foot. There are very few players in the league. We've got literally the CEO of Step Back City here, the mayor. We've got going on like so. Yeah, just if you wouldn't mind, talk to us a little bit because so many women don't do this in the game, but you do, and it's very much you can shoot long with 1 foot. So yeah, how did you kind of develop that? Who's responsible for helping you to develop that skill?
I'm not sure. I used to be really uncoordinated when I was younger, and I just sort of like used to throw it up however I could, and I'd honestly be like a snake. And I think people just always used to laugh at me. And then they were just like, well, just shoot off 1 foot if you can't shoot off 2. So I think it's more of a fact I can't shoot off 2. That I now but it works quite well, but I can only shoot off 1 foot as well. The other foot is awful. It's just literally 1 foot. But yeah, only shoot off 1 foot, but yeah, I've just always done it and I've stuck to it and it works. So I stay like.
Awesome.
Nice. Good bit of insight. Right. And Caitlin, is there anything else you wanted to ask before I go on to the next segment?
No, I'm really glad you asked about the shooting though, because yeah, as you say, it is quite rare. I could definitely relate to that uncoordinated nature. I used to, you don't shoot on your outside foot, but for so long growing up, I was always using my inside foot until literally an England trial, they were like, you shoot in a bananas way. What are you doing? So yeah, but we'll move on to the big vibey team.
Yeah. So let me again peel back a little bit of the curtain. I told one Marcus Ty that you were coming on to the podcast, and he was very excited. His description of you was, I think his words were exactly, she's a really good egg. She's super fun to be around and she's just really, really vibey. And we thought, right, we've had that a few times, but we thought it'd be really fun to do a blind ranking with you, but we're going to try and basically blind rank 10 players based on their vibes, right? So we made Rachel Turner do like a team of people, like the vibiest team, but we're going to make you blind rank 10 players that you've played with. You're not going to know who's coming next, so it's always going to be a challenge, okay? But yeah, feel free to any comments you want to make about those players or anything like that. You feel free. It's going to be a mix of players that you've played with before, and yeah, so I guess we'll see how you get on. You happy to play?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, okay. So 10 players, completely randomized, right? I've got first up, Andy Martinez.
Oh, that's a strong start, That's a really strong start. I think it's got to go at least top 3. I think I'm going to put him third.
Third for Andy Martinez. That's a fair. Yeah, I've heard many great things about, and I've played him at summer tournaments as well. Yeah, seems like a great dude.
Yeah.
Number 2, Claire Deek.
Oh, also very up there. I'll go for a solid 5. I feel like 5's pretty good.
5. Claire goes in 5. Sorry, I'm having to try and write these all down so that I remember them later. Right, Claire goes 5. Okay, number 3, Rachel Turner.
These are tough. These are really tough. I'm going to go 6 purely because I played with Claire Deek more.
Okay, number. Oh God, now we're saying numbers. Wait, this is number 4. Is it? This is number 4, right? Yeah, number 4. Sorry. Right, number 4. Perhaps one of the most iconic events of this season. The man responsible for it, Rob Summers.
I knew he was coming in there somewhere.
We can't ask about the actual incident.
I'll put him at number 2. He is, especially when you play on the same team as him. It's quite something, yeah.
I feel like at some point, right, I know the season probably has to end before we discuss here. I know he's probably, I feel like that has to, it's one of the great Korfball laws now exists within that man. So yeah. Okay, keeping it Bearsted. Number 5, Rebecca Clements.
Also very good. We've actually played together quite a lot this season. I'm going to go 7.
7. Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Okay, so now we are on number 7, right? No, 6?
6,
1,
maybe.
2,
Sure.
6. Sorry, 6. Number 6, Charlie Vogwill.
Oh, that's a good one. Have I got 4 of it? I'll put him a 4.
4 is available. Charlie Vogwill goes in number 4. Number 7, Tiggy Warner.
Also good. Played with her a lot at youth age groups as well. I'm going to have to go 8 purely because it's not number 1 yet.
Okay, so you have 10, just to clarify to listeners, we have 1, 10 and 9 left, okay? God. Oh, this is so fun. Okay. Number 8, Jack Chambers.
Me and Jack have played together since we were about 7 years old, and he'll probably kill me if I don't put him as number 1. He's laughing next door. Go on, I'll put him as number 1 purely because
he gets the number 1 spot. Oh, congrats to Jack. That's wicked. Right, okay, so now only 9 and 10.
9 and 10.
Number 9, Marcus Ty.
I knew he was coming as well. I knew he was coming. He's got to be 9, but he probably would have been higher up.
Okay.
I'll put him as 9 for now.
Which means my sneaky snake method works because I just wanted him to be last for something. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 10 by proxy, Blake Palfreyman.
Excellent. That's excellent.
So I think you know what I was going to do. I was basically going to put your sister, which I felt like was, but
that was incredible.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have done that. But I wrote this list prior to the podcast, and I didn't actually. My knowledge, I'm not the biggest Korf nerd. Apparently, I didn't know your sister played Korfball. This is news to me.
Yeah, we both played together. So
yeah. What's the age difference, or are you twins?
She's just 1 year older.
Just 1. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nice. But yeah, I should have done that, shouldn't I, in hindsight? Just so you could have had your sister last.
I would have put her at 10 anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's an easy one. But it's really great for us to just put Blake last on something. I think it really helps that manage, the expectation, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's a really good list. If I read it back to you, we've got in number 1, actually, I'll go 10 to 1. In number 10, we have the GOAT, Blake Palfreyman. In number 9, we have Marcus Ty. In number 8, we have Tiggy Warner. In number 7, we've got Rebecca Clements. In number 6, Raki T, Rachel Turner. In number 5, Claire Deek. In number 4, Charlie Vogwill. In number 3, Andy Martinez. Number 2, Rob Summers. And number 1, Jack Chambers. I think that's a good vibey list, right? That's a team you'd want to play in.
That's really good.
Yeah. Where would you place yourself in that list, Hannah, of vibes? Where would you put yourself there?
Maybe like 5 or 6.
5. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Rate that a lot. That's wicked though. I'm sure everybody will be happy with that. I know you got I forced Charlie Vogwill when he was on the podcast. I basically made him do this or that between players. And I essentially put you and like a really iconic player that he's played loads of. I can't remember who it was. And it really bothered him because he was like, Hannah's like great. And he really didn't like it. So yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy with number 4.
Good. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, appreciate that, Hannah. You've been awesome, and yeah, thank you for coming on. I'm sure at some point we'll have somebody else from Bearsted as well. I think we need to do a whole historical episode with Bearsted, and I'm genuinely serious about that because I think they're just responsible for so much of the positivity that comes out of Kent and the youth system and so many players. So yeah, shout out Bearsted, shout out you, Hannah. And I guess we'll see you on Sunday. For we'll see if we get the Fitzgerald Bealey matchup. And if we do, Caitlin's rolling up her sleeves, rolling those up 100%.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Such a legend.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, what an absolute superstar she is, hey? Yeah, she's one of those as well where you just kind of feel like you could chat to at the pub, right? Like, which I think is what we initially envisioned this podcast to be, right? Like pub conversations. Who do you want to go for a pint with after a game and pick their brain? And I think she's one of those people that just seems like a great human being to have a drink with and talk Korfball. And I think that sums us up for this week's action. Before we go, we can announce next week's guest. I can reveal to the listeners that one Mr. Shane Buckland from the Netherlands will be joining us on the podcast, as we will be talking all things Shane Buckland, generational talent, as Caitlin called him, all things in the Netherlands and how he's playing, sort of career is going over there. And of course, the England update of him being part of the fold for the upcoming tournament. So very excited to bring him on and to chat to him about everything that he's got going on right now. So yeah, folks, get your questions in, wherever you want to ask him, get it in. Let's get those in early, right? And I think that sums us up for this week. So yeah, thank you as always, folks. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Just before we sign out, again, want to stress to everybody, if you're still listening at this point, we're very grateful. But if you can spare anything, please do donate to the Kim Oakhill GoFundMe that Alison Rumble set up. We will, of course, link it within the video. We will, of course, be linking our socials as well. But yeah, that kind of sums up this week's episode of the For Korf's Sake podcast. And as always, see you next week, folks.